Good morning. This is Kent Blaylock with SDG Bible Study, the SOLI DEO GLORIA Bible Study. Good Tuesday morning, July the 8th, 2025. I hope everyone is doing well as we're moving into the week, and I hope you're up and about and ready to read God's Word this morning with me as we continue in the reading of the Everyday Gospel, a daily devotional by Paul David Tripp with a reading from the biblical text and a short devotional reading. This morning we're going to be in the book of Proverbs. We're going to read Proverbs 5 through 9 this morning. So join me as we read God's Word together. Proverbs chapter 5. My son, pay attention to my wisdom, incline your ear to my discernment, that you may keep discretion and that your lips may guard knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drip honey, and smoother than oil is her speech, but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold of Sheol. Lest she watch the path of life, her tracks are unstable. She does not know it. So now, my sons, listen to me, and do not turn away from the words of my mouth. Keep your way far from her, and do not go near the door of her house, lest you give your splendor to others, and your years to the cruel one. Lest strangers be satisfied by your strength, and by your painful labor those in the house of a foreigner. And you groan at your end when your flesh and your body are consumed, and you say, how I have hated discipline, and my heart spurned reproof. I have not listened to the voice of my instructors, and have not inclined my ear to my teachers. I was almost in utter ruin in the midst of the assembly and congregation. Drink water from your own cistern, and fresh water from your own well. Should your springs be dispersed abroad, streams of water in the streets, let them be for you alone, and not for strangers with you. Let your fountain be blessed, and be glad in the wife of your youth. As a loving hind in a graceful doe, let her breast satisfy you at all times. Be intoxicated always with her love. So why should you, my son, be intoxicated with a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a foreign woman? For the ways of a man are before the eyes of Yahweh, and he watches all his tracks. His own iniquities will capture him who is the wicked one, and with the cords of his sin he will be held fast. He will die for lack of discipline, and in the abundance of his folly he will stumble in intoxication. Now to chapter 6. My son, if you have become a guarantor for your neighbor, have struck your hands and pledged for a stranger, if you've been snared with the words of your mouth, have been caught with the words of your mouth, do this then, my son, and deliver yourself, since you have come into the hand of your neighbor. Go, humble yourself, and badger your neighbor. Give no sleep to your eyes, nor slumber to your eyelids. Deliver yourself like a gazelle from the hunter's hand, and like a bird from the hand of the fowler. Go to the ant, O sluggard, observe her ways, and be wise, which, having no chief, officer, or ruler, prepares her food in the summer, and gathers her provision in the harvest. How long will you lie down, O sluggard? When will you arise from your sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest? Your poverty will come in like a vagabond, and your want like an armed man. A vile person, a wicked man, is the one who walks with a perverse mouth, who winks with his eyes, who signals with his feet, who points with his fingers, who with perversity in his heart continually devises evil, who spreads contentions. Therefore his disaster will come suddenly. Instantly he will be broken, and there will be no healing. There are 6 things which Yahweh hates, even 7 which are an abomination to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked thoughts, feet that hasten to run to evil, a false witness who breathes out lies, and one who spreads strife among his brothers. My son, observe the commandment of your father, and do not abandon the law of your mother. Bind them continually on your heart, tie them around your neck. When when you walk about, they will lead you. When you sleep, they will keep watch over you. And when you awake, they will speak to you. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs for discipline are the way of life, to keep you from the evil woman, from the smooth tongue of the foreign woman. Do not desire her beauty in your heart, nor let her capture you with her eyelids. For on account of a harlot one is reduced to a loaf of bread, and an adulteress hunts for the precious life. Can a man take fire in his bosom, and his clothes not be burned? Or can a man walk on hot coals, and his feet not be scorched? So is the one who goes in to his neighbor's wife. Whoever touches her will not go unpunished. Men do not despise a thief if he steals to fill himself when he is hungry. But when he is found, he must repay sevenfold. He must give all the substance of his house. The one who commits adultery with a woman is lacking a heart of wisdom. He who would destroy his soul does it. Wounds and disgrace he will find, and his reproach will not be blotted out. For jealousy enrages a man, and he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not accept any ransom. He will not be willing, though you give many bribes. Now to Proverbs chapter 7. My son, keep my words and treasure my commandments within you. Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers, write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call understanding your intimate friend, in order to keep you from the strange woman, from the foreign woman who flatters with her words. For at the window of my house I looked out through my lattice, and I saw among the simple and discerned among the sons a young man lacking a heart of wisdom, passing through the street near her corner, and he strides along the way to her house in the twilight, in the evening of that day, in the middle of the night, and in the thick darkness. And behold, a woman comes to meet him, dressed as a harlot and cunning of heart. She is boisterous and rebellious. Her feet do not dwell at home. Stepping in the streets, stepping in the squares, and near every corner she lies in wait. So she seizes him and kisses him, and with a brazen face she says to him, the sacrifices of peace offerings are with me. Today I paid my vows. Therefore I've come out to meet you, to seek your face earnestly, and I have found you. I have spread my couch with coverings, with colored linens of Egypt. I have sprinkled my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, then, let us drink our fill as lovers until morning. Let us delight ourselves with the pleasures of love. For my husband is not at home. He has gone on a journey far away. He took a bag of silver in his hand. On the day of the full moon, he will come home. With her abundant persuasions, she entices him. With her flattering lips, she drives him to herself. He suddenly follows her as an ox goes to the slaughter, or as one in fetters to the discipline of an ignorant fool, until an arrow pierces through his liver, as a bird hastens to the snare, and he does not know that it will cost him his soul. So now, my sons, listen to me, and pay attention to the words of my mouth. Do not let your heart go astray into her ways. Do not wander into her pathways. For many are the slain whom she has cast down, and numerous are all those killed by her. The ways to Sheol are in her house, descending to the chambers of death. Now to Proverbs chapter 8. Does not wisdom call, and discernment give forth her voice? At the top of the heights upon the way, where the pathways meet, she takes her stand. Beside the gates, at the opening in the city, at the entrance of the doors, she makes a shout. To you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. O simple ones, understand prudence, and O fools, understand the heart of wisdom. Listen, for I will speak noble things, and the opening of my lips will reveal upright things. For my mouth will utter truth, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing twisted or crooked in them. They are all straightforward to him who understands, and right to those who find knowledge. Take my discipline, and not silver, and knowledge rather than choicest fine gold. For wisdom is better than pearls, and all desirable things cannot compare with her. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and I find knowledge and discretion. The fear of Yahweh is to hate evil, pride and arrogance, and the evil way. And the mouth of perverted words I hate. Counsel is mine and sound wisdom. I am understanding. Might is mine. By me kings reign and rulers mark out righteousness. By me princes rule and nobles, all who judge rightly. I love those who love me, and those who earnestly seek me will find me. Riches and glory are with me, enduring wealth and righteousness. My fruit is better than fine gold, even pure gold, and my produce rather better than choice silver. I walk in the path of righteousness, in the midst of the pathways of justice, to give those who love me an inheritance of wealth, that I may fill their treasuries. Yahweh possessed me at the beginning of his way, before his deeds of old. From everlasting I was installed from the beginning, from the earliest times of the earth. When there was no depths, I was brought forth, when there was no springs heavy with water. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills, I was brought forth. While he had not yet made the earth and the fields outside, nor the first dust of the world. When he established the heavens, I was there. When he marked out the circle of the face of the deep, when he made firm the skies above, when the springs of the deep became strong, when he set for the sea its boundaries so that the water would not pass over his command, when he marked out the foundations of the earth, then I was beside him as a master workman, and I was a daily delight, rejoicing always before him, rejoicing in the world, his earth. My delight is in the sons of men. So now, O sons, listen to me, for blessed are they who keep my ways. Hear discipline and be wise, and do not neglect it. How blessed is a man who hears me, to watch daily at my doors, to keep watch at my doorposts. For he who finds me finds life, and obtains favor from Yahweh. But he who sins against me does violence to his own soul. All those who hate me love death. Now to Proverbs chapter 9. Wisdom has built her house. She has hewn out her 7 pillars. She has slaughtered her cattle. She has mixed her wine. She has also prepared her table. She has sent out her maidens. She calls from the tops of the heights of the city. Whoever is simple, let him turn in here. To him who lacks a heart of wisdom, she says, come, eat of my bread, and drink of the wine I have mixed. Forsake your simplicity and live, and step into the way of understanding. He who disciplines a scoffer receives disgrace for himself, and he who reproves a wicked man receives injury for himself. Do not reprove a scoffer lest he hate you. Reprove a wise man, and he will love you. Give knowledge to a wise man, and he will be still wiser. Make a righteous man know it, and he will increase his learning. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For by me your days will become many, and years of life will be added to you. If you are wise for yourself, and if you scoff, you alone will bear it. The woman of foolishness is boisterous, a woman of simplicity, and does not know anything. She sits at the doorway of her house, on a seat by the high places of the city. to call to those who pass by that way, who are making their path straight. Whoever is simple, let him turn in here. And to him who lacks a heart of wisdom, she says, stolen water is sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he does not know that the dead are there, that those she called are in the depths of Sheol. And that's going to conclude our reading from the biblical text. Now our devotional reading this morning. God created us to work, and he gives us his presence, promises, and grace so we can work diligently and faithfully. I was 16 years old, and it was the night of the last day of school. My father called me into the living room and said, "Sit down, I want to talk to you." He proceeded to tell me that the next day I was to get up, put on a suit, coat, and tie, and go out and look for a job. He told me that if I didn't get a job the first day, I would have to do the same thing day after day until I found a job. I look back on that conversation with gratitude. I learned the value of work at a young age, and it has served me well throughout my life. From the beginning, God designed us for and called us to work. Labor is not the result of the fall. Adam and Eve were called to certain work in the Garden of Eden. Sin's effect on the physical creation makes work hard, but work was always God's plan for us. Work is part of our identity as human beings, and people who work hard are blessed by the fruit of their labors. One of the ways God cares for, maintains, and develops his creation is by the work of those made in his image. Consider Proverbs 6, where God points us to the industrious discipline of the ant. Go to the ant, O sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. Without having any chief, officer, or ruler, she prepares her bread in summer and gathers her food in harvest. How long will you lie there, O sluggard? When will you arise from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come upon you like a robber, and want like an armed man. Proverbs chapter 6, verses 6 through 11. Why does God call the ant wise? The ant works without a boss forcing him to work, and he knows the value of planning. Therefore, the ant never pays the price for being lazy. It's humbling to have your attitude toward work compared to an ant's, but maybe that's the point. If an ant works faithfully without needing to be prodded, how much more should we, who have been called to care for what God has made? It's not natural for sinners to love work. We're inclined to do little while hoping for much. So if we're going to love work and live as disciplined and faithful, let me read that again. So if we're going to love work and live a disciplined and faithful life of work, God must meet us with his grace. Divine grace has the power to turn sluggards into people who work with joy as unto the Lord. Reach out for that grace today. And that's going to conclude our reading this morning from God's Word and this devotional. So thankful for that encouragement and that reminder as I'm preparing myself this morning to be leaving shortly from now to go to work, as many of you are as well. And sometimes it's tedious and trying, and sometimes, man, I don't want to get up and go. But God has designed us for work. He blesses us in our work, and work will be hard, but it can be rewarding. It is how this life was designed. What is your attitude toward work this morning? Are you glad to go? Are you thankful God has given you work to do, a job to provide? Sometimes we take that for granted. I hope you have a blessed day as you head to work. Enjoy it. Give God glory for it. Have a blessed day. Soli Deo Gloria.